think we may have it this time. Gosh, I probably lost. Come on, come on, come on, come on. Okay. Can you tell I'm disgusted? Can you tell I'm disgusted? Can you tell I'm disgusted? Sounds like I've got a ghost in here with me. Sounds like I've got a ghost in here with me. That's the echo from there. There. Man, I just got all flustered. Hope y'all didn't hear some of the nice words I was saying. I had my phone turned off through my watch and it would not do anything and it kept hanging. And okay, we're live now. I just thought, let me take a deep breath. That's what I get for thinking. I'm Vicki Ross, and thought that this afternoon would be a good afternoon to just visit and play, but YouTube helped me blow all my subscribers who were going to come watch. Drinking my Slim Fast lunch. Breathe. I started preparing, and look at it, it's upside down again. I can't believe that. I've never tried working this way. It's going to be a real trick. I even started getting ready early. I started at, I don't know, 3:15 or so. And I was getting my stuff out and trying to get my desk clear so that that person that my desk bugged because it was so messy was happy. And got all that done. Randy called it a 2:45, 3, 4, what time was it? 3, 2:45. And I had to run a key down to someone who's moving in. And that flustered me, so I got back at 5 till 3, and then I started having all these problems. So, this is, I thought we'd just do a little flip through. This is a little journal that, it's a junk journal, and it's got all kinds of chalky finish paint and collage under here. And what I did was, it wasn't planned, believe me. I just drew what I thought was going to be a balloon shape, and it ended up being a flower. And then I painted around the shape, and then I took black pens and just scribbled around it. So it turned out okay. Covered up some real cool collage, though. Here's the back. Excuse me. Had some real cool antique papers and stuff. This is made from paint chip books that you get. I'm going to try to raise this. Got all the latest tools in the world, and you know how that goes. At least the light's good. Oh, now, oh no. Okay. So it's made out of a paint chip book. One of these. And I just taped them together with washi tape. And there's 3 or 4 together. So you just tape them till you get a book the size you want it. And then I just did a variation of Shannon Green's journaling by 5s, where you give yourself a very short amount of time and you don't plan it. And then when you get all through with some collage and some paint splatters and some stamps and whatever, then you go back and kind of see what you've got. And so I think in this case I had already stamped it with the Africa stamp. Let's see a glare. Anyway, the Africa stamp, and then escape to was a word I had. Oh, that's not a glare. That's white paint. Okay, breathe. Here's another page. This has deli paper from Smashburger and just some stamps and some cutout stuff. Oh, dress patterns are way cool to play with. And some more of the Smashburger. Living a normal life scares me. I know that that's very relatable. And what's cool about these is they open up. So you get a folded spread for nothing. I mean, not for nothing, but it looks like you really put a whole lot of work in it. And you could put these together and seam them, I mean, actually do a simple binding stitch on them, and they'd really look pretty professional. So anyway, just more collage and more letters, just out and out playing, like this says, play hard. Can you see that? Play hard. And so I'll fold that back in. I've got a masterpiece in a bottle, which kind of relates to that. And anybody that knows me well will know that I don't play, so I'm trying to learn how to play. Some days are better than others. This one kind of got some peeling marks on it because something over here wasn't dry, but that's okay too. I could always come back in with some paint. Actually, you know what? I think that's the pattern in her skirt. This is not pattern in the skirt, but that is. So that would be easy enough to fix, but hey, who cares? Classic Reborn. Watches are always fun. And look at this interesting mark right there. I have no clue how I made it. It looks like a spray bottle of ink that I then smushed, or it came out in a blob and I smushed it. A cute cartoon. And I'm going to start cutting up some magazines again because I just figured out a way to keep them in order so you can use them. And putting them in a file folder and putting them in a binder thing and all that doesn't work for me. So I'm going to get just an open bin, like one of these tackle box bins that's open all the way, and keep my scraps in that. And more of the same. I got hot a while ago. I had to take my big sweatshirt off, and hardworking all the time. That's me. Honest. Since I retired, I kind of try to quit doing that. Here's a piece of a paper towel or a handy wipe that was used to wipe up, and just save it because it's going to have colors that you've used already. Don't throw anything away. It's fun to go back through these every once in a while. And see here, I didn't cover up all of the picture. I left part of what was already on the book there. And it doesn't matter that things are textured and sticking up, and I did not put any kind of a sealer on these. I could go back and put some Daddy Van's wax. See, there goes my nose again. It always blows. It always blows when I'm talking. I'm still a little bit stressed. But we're going to get over that. I like this kind of collage where you take a body, cut the head off, and put somebody else's head on. I'm going to explore that more this year. Excuse me. Excuse me. And in the after the event of the year. I mean, you know, come on, this is the guy's head from the tuxedo. And this is the body for this character. Clever, huh? Yeah. And this is a piece of drop paper, and I did not put it there, but it stuck there for some reason, and I'm just going to leave it. It's got some interesting stuff going on. I'm just going to leave it. And here's our last page. Well, not last. Got a few more. I'm trying to read upside down. E.T. at food. I'll look up here maybe. What's that say up there? Right here. It says pet food without art is just eh. Now that doesn't make any sense whatsoever. Pet food. Huh. Well, if anybody has a clue, let me know. Now, if I were to wet this and put it down and press it, it would turn out flat. The last thing I did on this was went around with a stamp pad and just roughly coated the edges. So there's that. The last time I was on here live, I talked about those gorgeous brushes I got from AliExpress. Yeah, I know I'm helping the Chinese market, but oh wait, that's not a, this is a real one. This is Jean Haynes. Well, there you go. That's a real one. This is a Chinese one. Different size. And it's never been used. Once you take the plastic thing off of it, you don't keep it. Because what happens if you try to put it back on? Well, first thing you do is you are tempted to put it in your mouth and, you know, get it wet all the way around the edge so the thing comes together, which is not good. I don't know anybody that would do that. Anyway, if you try to put this back on, you will invariably get a hair going the wrong way, and then you'll never get it back up in the right position, so you have to cut it off. And so it's just a better idea not to put these on. So I recommend using a bamboo roll-up, which I have in my other bag. I have been, oh God, I hate to show y'all this. Here's the big one. Look at this. Y'all, these brushes were really inexpensive. Not like US. And this is a, I've talked about this before. This is a cartridge brush for calligraphy. So you put your ink in here. That one does have a lid you put back on. Okay, we're not going to go there today. This is the brush I thought I had. Oh, some people came in. Oh, I'm so excited. Y'all, I had 7 times trying to get this to go live. Earth without art is just eh. I swear, Beck, this said pet food. Hey, Crafty Artist, BJ. Is this a good time for everybody? As long as I don't coincide with Barb? It's easy for me to remember, and by the end of the week, I'm usually awake enough to try something new. This has been sitting in water, guys, and they've got so much sizing in them. But I think the most I paid for one of these Chinese ones, it's called a squirrel mop. I think maybe the most I paid was $15. Several of them were under 10. These ones, and let's see if I still got this other one up here. This one, these can retail for $300. You don't pay that much if you can find one. This one's out of. So anyway, I'll save those for good watercolor. How's that for a positive statement? It's wet now. See, when I first started watercolor, I had some Chinese brushes, and I still got them. I bought them on eBay, and I did not have a clue what a watercolor brush was, but it said watercolor, so I got it. Who else is coming in? I'm going to talk more than... Hey, Crafty Artist. Yeah, I started with watercolor, and my new art program is going to be introducing you to oil encaustic, watercolor, and soft pastels. And it comes with a kit, so you will have the same supplies. But see how that came to a point? Well, after you've used them a while and gotten them a little bit painty, and they'll hold the shape that you put it in, see? And that drove me crazy because I didn't know how to work with that. And then now that I'm an old timer in art, the calligraphy people use that to make different marks. So they use that brush being that way to an advantage. Now, real Kolinsky brush. This is a Jean Haynes. Her brushes are very, very, very good, by the way. They're real hair. And you take it and do that, and then if you shake it, you can get it to a real good point. Now, these are designed to come back more to their original shape, where these are designed to just, I mean, it looks like a cheap kid's brush made out of camel hair. This is probably goat hair or something. Again, real hair, but these are very inexpensive. You can even get them in Hobby Lobby. That wasn't where I was going today, by the way. But we did. Anyway. This one's wet. Throw that over on the floor. Okay. I have another one of these little things. And this one started out being a napkin book. Anybody needs me, be sure and put it in all caps. Okay, I'm trying to watch the chat because that's part of what I like too, is being in touch with everybody. So anyway, when Shannon Green and I were working on the weekly soirees at Canvas Corp, somebody came in to see her and brought just a whole basket full of paper napkins. And what I did was I just took another one of these paint books that were taped together and ready to go, and just put a napkin on every page. And I swear to God, I tried not to make them pretty, you know, make them all matchy-matchy, because that's my tendency. But I did anyway. But anyway, let me put my Slim Fest down and I'll show you this one. I mean, it's 3:45, so I think it's about time for me to do my lunch. Okay, this one's got a little more to it. It's a little more painty than the other one. It's not as gluey and stick-uppy. But what I did use in this was some rub-ons, and I really like them. They're fun. And just did a paint smear. I just, like, took it on a credit card. I know I've got one. Y'all know how long it's been since I've actually sat down in here and worked. Okay. Just take some paint like that, and just take it and squish it like that. We may do that a little bit. I've got 60 gazillion credit cards here, but of course can't find one when I need it. And then the next thing I did was took, get that cord out of the way. Just took a black pen like a micron and just kind of doodled around shapes. Not really doodling, but just tracing around them, and you get some real interesting stuff. Doodled a little bit here. My problem was I fell in love with what was underneath it, and I didn't want to cover it up, which is, you're never, 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 ever supposed to do that. Because if you fall in love with something, then you stop, and you might do something better down the road. This is a neat piece. That looks like maybe a jelly print, piece of a jelly print I had done. But again, these are all napkins. And when you work with a napkin, you tear the, I'll show you in a minute. I know where I can put my hands on some. This was one of my favorites. I turned it my way again, didn't I? I don't know why that's backwards. It's driving me crazy. Yeah, it is. It's all about the layers, and that just does not compute in my world. But I'm getting better at it. This one is one of my favorites. Shannon has done an all black and white journal, and I would like to do that one of these days. Am I backwards again? It's hard to tell. This is another one of those spreadies. And this one's cool. That one had a dragonfly on it. And I love this one. If y'all got a group anywhere that can get together, it's a fun thing to swap napkins. Just everybody bring your napkins, and because nobody ever will use an entire pack of napkins. And this one was pretty. I think it turned out good. The bird was part of the napkin. And again, another rub-on. Canvas Corp has some really cool rub-ons. So that spread kind of goes here. That's a rub-on. Just a Canvas Corp has some that are done on like dressmaker's tissue, and you just lay that whole thing down and rub it, and you're done. The colors on this one are fun. And again, just washi tape to put it together. And if that starts to come up, you can just glue it back down. Let's see, is this a foldy? Yeah, this is a foldy. Oh, wait. This one is a 4-way. Another bird. And here's a 3-way. You see how much more I can go up without interfering with light. One of those necessary evils. Gotta have light. Is that better? Come on. Okay, there we go. It's a little bit better. Is this a 3 one or a 4 one? That's a 4 one again. I'm sorry, I just can't get it in there. There's 2, 3, and 4. And I did do some matchy. On the 2 outer edges, I put the flower on both ends. And then this is a 4-way. So these things are really cool to work in, guys, and free. They throw them away at every quarter. I mean, they just go through there and just throw all this stuff away, so don't feel like you're stealing. And I love the pink roses. Oops, I need to do a little bit of gluing. And see, I haven't finished that. So, let me go get some of those napkins. They're still sitting in the chair where I put them when I got back from Shannon's, or got back from, no, that was at Shannon's we didn't. Napkin swap. Okay. Here are the napkins. We traded, and I still have way too many. But anyway, that's fun, and they're fun to work with, so I don't know what I'll do with those plain ones or even where I got them, but they were $1.70, oh, $1.19, so I'm sure that's why I got them. I know that all of y'all know, Vicki, did you gesso the pages? Nope. I went straight with the napkins. Excuse me. Yeah, Aunt Beck, I love that black and white one too. I'm catching up with the chat. Alright, for any beginners that are out there, and I know there are, they just don't jump in on the chat because they haven't figured out yet that we're all just a little bit crazy and they don't want to be a beginner. I wonder if this one has already been. It's a little late for Christmas, isn't it? Washi tape. Here's one of my tricks for getting these separated. Two pieces of washi. This one I'm kind of having a funny feeling may has already been separated. So I put a piece of tape on either side. Looky there. Isn't that cool? Now you've got these two things stuck to your fingers, so we're going to get that off. It wasn't stuck down there hard enough to ruin it. And we can use that washi again. Like I need to save washi. Now these blank ones, see how sheer they are? If you'll take like a Stays-On ink pad, permanent, and stamp on this, and then when you tear it apart for your collage, or for a collage, they turn transparent and it's almost like you drew that stamp on there. And I've got another little trick, and I don't know if my tricks are new or not, guys, so I'm just going to tell you anyway. Just take a regular paintbrush, and if you want just a part of something, say you stamp this whole sheet with different kinds of stamps, just take a wet paintbrush and you can just do this around the design that you want, and looky there. And what the other thing that this does is it gives you a ragged edge that disappears better than this sharp edge. So anyway, that's Vicki's cool tip number 75. You didn't know that one, Aunt Beck? Good. I taught you something. And me all new to this mixed media game. Sometimes these things have more than one layer. So we're going to try that trick again. Now the reason, you know what, I don't think I'm going to tell you the reason. Oh look, it did. I'm not going to tell you the reason why you need to do this, because you'll forget it. And when you do it on your own, you're going to go, damn that Vicki, why didn't she tell me? I did it. I thought I was all done separating a napkin, glued it down all pretty. Look how thin this one is. And when I got it all glued down and was waiting for it to dry, I did something and this top layer just picked up. Well, guess what? That's because it wasn't glued. It was the under layer that was glued. Now, if you're picky about stuff getting underneath, put some junk paper or something behind it. Okay. Don't be difficult. I'm talking to my supplies over here. This is just bond paper. My cheap paper or deli paper is down below. And I'm not going to get down below to fix it. Okay, now, you can use anything you want. Of course, you always can. And I know some of you have seen my glue box. I've got a video on it. Just look up glue box. I have 3 sponges in this case that's got a rubber seal on it. And I filled this with one of those Elmer's glue, boo goo bottles that children use. And I bought them on sale at Walmart one time, so I have several. So I just used it. I don't think it's that much difference than regular Elmer's, except it's a gel. So I put the whole bottle, and it was, I think, 8 ounces in here. Now this has been in here for going on almost 2 years. I may have sprayed it once with some bleach, but I haven't had any molding. It hasn't dried out. All I do is spray it before I use it, and I spray it when I get done. It's not good for everything, but it's real good for thin paper. Get that, Mom. Handy wipes. I want some handy wipes in a weighted thing, you know, like a thing that would sit where you can just pull one out of the top and close it. That'd be much more handy than these bags. Okay, here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to try this. I'm going to take this sponge up, and I'm going to go over this page. And then I am going to put this, I'm just going to float it. Where's that card? Like I said, I don't know if this is going to work. But if it does, it's a whole lot less messy than... Whoops, tore my napkin, fiddly-dee. That just adds texture. That works pretty good. I think it'll stay. Nope, it's not going to tear that way. But who cares? We're just going to make it tear that way. If you tear these on the grain, it'll tear straight. If you tear it off the grain, it's zigzaggy. You could also cut it. You could also use the brush trick I just talked about. Now that was a smart move, Vic. Now I'm just going to put this right here. Cover that edge. I got a goober under there. It was some glue. Come on now, work with me. I don't care what I'm working with, guys. I get it all over me. Not bad, not bad. Are y'all enjoying watching the wick stir at work? This is what I do. I talk to myself. I sing. I get it stuck to me. Hardest thing about this new class thing I'm doing is having to do live streams on Facebook where you can see my face and all my silly faces and everything. It ain't pretty. Let's do that again. Well, let's just use that one. You on there? Maybe. Maybe, baby. Now, the only thing wrong with doing what I was just doing and picking up the sponge that way is that you get it all over your hands. And you saw that was why I was sticking to the paper. Yeah, let's see what's going on over here. Sometimes I just like to roll the paper back. I think that's what I want to do. And there's baby boy. He's just not happy. But an art friend of mine, it's amazing how our online friends pop up. we found out she lived just an hour from me. Oh, I know, BJ. BJ's daddy passed away 2 weeks ago, and he's just not understanding why he's all by himself. But Linda Wessel sent me a message last night about a miniature schnauzer who has just been rehomed, and I think we were the first ones to get our name on the list. He's 9 years old, and his name is Ozzy, and so I think we're going to try to see this weekend if they can set it up for us to go see him. He's just down the road. See? Just running that right over the edge. And I'm going to do the same with this piece. Anyway, so Bitty Boy is, I mean, he's always had somebody with him. He's just lucky that I stay home, because I do stuff like this. This is the way I really use it. Just take the piece and squish it on there. But I've got so much on my fingers now. But this is the inexact part of this. So if you are a control freak and you want everything to be perfect, this is the best therapy in the world for you, because it is never going to be perfect. If you get a wrinkle, hey, all the more to you. Now, see? I just wrapped that extra napkin around that. And I'm going to put the lid on until I figure out where I'm going next with this. God, I hate my runny nose. Now, when this dries, I can come back with washi tape over the edge. I can leave it ragged, which is probably what I'll do. Let me check the chat. Stamp the white ones. What did I miss, BJ? Oh, yeah. Stamp the white ones. Let's do that right now while we dry. These fence post brushes are getting in my way. Okay, stays on. Nope. I moved some things around in my studio, and there they are. Forevermore, you'll be looking for your stuff in the same spot. You know, when you start out stamping, you don't have anything. You don't really know what to get. And you go to, let's do this one. Is Adirondack permanent? Anyway, you buy a bunch of stuff at Hobby Lobby on sale. Looking for my black one. Get every color in the universe. There it is, right in the front. Now, that's interesting. Why wouldn't I think to look there? Stays on. Ta-da! I got my stamps out from Rubber Moon. I went wild over the Christmas holiday things that on closeout. And all these little bitty things, they're so cute. I'm sure I'm supposed to take them off this card, but see, look how cute that is. I think I'm going to be into tiny. Come on now. if I get my chair just right, I can get the leg up underneath the footstool. And I can get it closer. There. Alright. There's Dream Journal. This is Newsflash. Upside down. Doesn't matter. Teeny things. Yeah, go make a set. Oh, pork loin. Make me one too, Aunt Beck. Yeah, I know. He is pitiful. And I've done so much of the work for my project, sitting in my chair with a computer on my lap. And he's usually in my lap too. And in here in the studio, he can't be. In my lap, that is. Have y'all been Moonies? And I just found them. These were closeouts for the year. When it's dark enough, you can see the stars. That's a good one. Live happily. Actually, I don't think there's any sense in taking them off of these cardboard backers at all. Oh, here's some wings, and they're separate, so you can put them on a person. Cool. And I have to tell y'all something else I did. Aunt Beck's gone, but I know she'll enjoy this. I have been wanting, not that that's my thing at all, y'all understand. It's just that I've been wanting some of the Distress Oxides for a whole year. And I've been watching them on Amazon, and they never get any cheaper. And so I like Joggles. I like Barb over at Joggles. If y'all don't know her, you need to find out, because it's a cool shop. They run everything at, I think, 15% off all the time. And so anyway, I'm also real bad about one or two colors isn't enough for me. I want all of them. I've been that way my whole life. I can't help it. So anyway, I asked her, I said, I found these online. If I buy all 24 stamps and Brie inkers for $200 or $195, can y'all match that? And she said no. And I said, okay, thanks. Then I got a thing in the mail, an email from them, and they had run a sale several weeks ago on wood blocks. I saw them just a minute ago. Let me get them. Show you. These retail for, I think, $10 a piece. I mean, in that range. And I love them. My neighbors next door, or used to live next door to us, are Indian. And when they went to India last time, they brought me some. And I love them. I can't help it. I just love them. So anyway, I got these for like 75% off. And the email that came the other day was what they have left. They were going to give away one for every $20 you spend. So I ordered me some Distress Oxides. And I got them all. And then I'm going to get probably 5 or 6 of those that I didn't already have. So that's a good deal, right? Come on, somebody tell me right. Hey, Beck, I bet you're getting it all over your computer. Look at that. I love it. Did you hear my story just now, Beck? About wanting the distress oxides? And Joggles decided to give away the hand-carved Indian inventory they had left. Sprinkle mood dust and spread maggot. And you gotta watch those maggots. Anyway, so I got all the colors, all the reinkers. I've got enough. If the world ends tomorrow, I won't need any more art supplies. But I'm getting about 5 of those Indian wood blocks. Moon dancing is strongly encouraged. Yeah, BJ, it was a good deal if you take in the freebie. I tried to buy those when I was at CHA 2 years ago with Canvas Corp, and they couldn't sell them on the spot because that was their only inventory and they were headed to another show. But she persisted and she finally got them. Ooh, cute little typewriter. This is a quote that I use all the time. Well, let's see. I'm gonna have to get another thingy. I bet that's dry already. Yeah. Okay. Put it out the way you're supposed to have it, all nice and flat. Put this one over to dry. Let's go again. It's so much less expensive to just go ahead and paint in watercolor or oil or encaustic than mixed media. It took me 4 years to learn to paint like Raphael and a lifetime to paint like a child. I love that. This is a big one. I'm big on sales. Doesn't hurt my feelings at all if something's last year's model. Not bad for somebody that doesn't know how to stamp. Let's try that again. I've always drawn what I wanted, but I'm getting my toes into paper craft. Yeah, well, the paper crafting, stamping, mixed media industry knows that we're all hooked on new products. And you don't get that so much in watercolor except for brushes. You just don't. There's nothing to be tempted by unless it's last year's craze of handmade watercolors. And I got 1 or 2 companies of those. But you know, they're just not as professionally made. But, you know, probably if I put that on better paper, it would show up better. Now somewhere I've got a witch. And I don't see her. I got a witch's hat. Dude, I like that one. This reminds me of some of, I hate getting old. Patty Tolly Parish. I'll get it out in a minute. She's got a lot of Earth Women type stamps. All right, one more big one, and then that witch's hat. I'm sure it's over here in my stuff because I think I showed that last time. Come on. I got wet ink here. Come on. Sometimes you just want a ready-made face. And that's it. Cute. I'm going to keep these separate from all my other stamps. I was learning how to watercolor and oil paint when everybody else was doing stamps. Okay, we're dry here. Let me see what I've got up here. I got this from AliExpress too. I think it was like $5. Well, I mean, it was even less than that, I bet. It's just a blank notebook, like a writing journal, but it's old. Isn't that cool? And the envelopes are back there too. And I've saved all of this stuff. Carrot, you got a better edge. See, look at those stamps. Isn't that cool? I know. Put the stamp pad up. I need some prompt cards. And I tried to buy some from Kyla Givehand, but her website wouldn't take payments, so it made me wonder if maybe she was already out. And yeah, I know, I could make my own. I think her set was $20. Okay, which way am I facing? Now watch, it doesn't really matter. This is the customs tag declaration. Yeah, I think this came from France. But I sure thought I ordered it from, that's a good look for right there. Tinting base. I didn't finish my Slim Fast. Hang on. I don't drink these to lose weight. I drink them because they are a meal replacement. And I don't have to stop. Alrighty. Gesso. I'm coming back. I've got my screen back here on its stands, covering up my supply cubes. I'm going to use matte medium on this because it's a heavier. I'm going to use DecoArt matte medium. I love the DecoArt products, but I have to tell you that I am one of their part of their Helping Artists program, so I get this free, so I like it. Actually, I really do like their products. Their Artists Acrylic are their high-end acrylics are artist quality. I'll get it out in a minute. That'll be stuck good enough. So that means that they're made with real pigment. And that also means that they are single pigment. So it has those weird names. Single pigment means that if you were doing an acrylic painting, let's get away from journaling. If you were doing an acrylic painting, that means that you would know what was in the tube and how it would mix to make 1,000 other colors. If you use them straight out of the bottle, they're a little bit too strong. But their intermediate lines are excellent too. I've got those too. Did y'all see my live stream on Facebook the other day? I had fun with it. Baby wipe. I don't have any of Barb's face stamps. Yeah, clearance is better. And Aunt Beck, I love it when you and your hubby go to Goodwill. I need to do that. I just don't get out of the house much because there's so much I want to do here. And I sometimes do some of my shopping late at night after I've had a little bit of vodka. Let's get one of those stamps. Yeah, this came from France. I guess I lied. Nope, that won't come off. Cutting mat for every occasion. Have y'all tried these? This is the pen blade, and it was designed as a scalpel for surgeons because regular scalpels will cut you. And see, and that's what I don't like about it. Right there where I put my hand is the lever to close it up. These are disposable, so when you get done with one, you throw it away. This one, I think, has some glue on it. How in the world would that happen? Okay. A stamp. I don't think I could have too many cutting mats. I love them. Matte medium again. I love my little glue thing, but it's just not good for anything that needs to be really stuck. It's good for little pieces of paper and stuff like I used it for. I'm not an old fart, Aunt Beck. I may be a fart, but I'm not an old fart. I'm only 68. I did that live stream the other day and tried to act like I was surprised when the camera went live. And when I played it back and saw my neck, I about threw up. I just don't like that part of getting old. I like the retirement part. Which retirement is an oxymoron because I always worked for myself. But I quit taking clients for graphics, let's put it that way. That rat race I am done with. But I'm still doing things to make money. I want y'all to get over to my free Facebook page, free Facebook group, and get involved in the community over there. And then I'm thinking I'm going to do a soft launch of my big program to a limited number of people, and they get a bunch of extras. So you can read all about it over there on the Facebook group. All right. Let's do something about that nose. Let's do moon dust. I like that one. Just like magic. Let's see. It may rip on the. Be careful. Be very, very careful. Now another little trick is take something else and varnish it down. Don't leave it on there because it'll stick. Now, put just a little bit matte medium on there to secure it. Yeah, my hair's all silver too, and I'm thinking about getting it peroxided just for fun. I had red hair. There's magic in the air. That was red hair was part of me reinventing myself after Sarah died, and I really liked it. But I quit doing it. Didn't have to quit. But I quit doing it because my hair was turning white and I looked like a red-headed skunk. And of course, if the red was first and then I'm going to use the matte medium. It's a little safer. If the red was underneath and the white was on the ends, that'd be cool. But my hair is so short, it doesn't do much good to have it done and then have to redo it in a month, 2 months. Come on. So I just went silver. Okay, that's working out good. Check the chat. Am I the oldest one in this group? Yeah, I wanted to do purple or pink. I like Cyndi Lauper's pink hair. But then my hairstylist, who's a good friend and comes to our house to do it, said, no, you don't want to do that because you'd have to peroxide your hair. This is some tissue paper that was in one of the packages. Of course, y'all know all these tricks. I'm not telling you anything new. Anybody that's a beginner out there, this is all you do. Oh, I see that label sitting there from something else. Or this thing off my Slim Fast bottle, and you look at it and you go, I could use that. See, I really do like being this age. I think it's more fun than any I've had. Wonder how Twitter's doing without me this afternoon. I got hooked on Twitter last year when I was recuperating from all that surgery. And I love it. I was scared of it at first. Let's put another piece of that on there. I'd heard so much about the ugly people and yelling at you and stuff. I didn't want to go there, but I have found a group. I only have people that I listen to that are constitutional lawyers or big political consultants, and I have learned so much. Now, if you're stupid on there, somebody will tell you you're being stupid. So that happens. There's that. Newbies, I am not even thinking about where I'm putting this or why. I'm just putting. And then when you get done, I think I'm going to close up the glue box. This is not really the kind of project it's good for. I used it a lot with the journaling by Fives. What are we going to do now? Did you think I was kidding? Scissors. No, I don't need that. I don't need that. I need scissors. And where are scissors when you need them? Dang it. Everything's falling in the floor. It's the way it is. If I had 39 lunchroom tables in here, they would all be in everything would still all be in the floor. Pipple. There they are. How long have we been on here? I mean, considering the fact that I had to reinvent the wheel to get on here. That may need some bigger help. Okay, I'll hold it and look at the chat. I don't think that's going to stick down, so I'm going to use some washi tape. Never say never. There's that little boy. Bless his little heart. His daddy died. I bawled all over again the other day when the vet sent us a card and had Beamer's footprint on the front of it. You want to say hi to everybody? This little black boy is solid black, and he weighs about 13 pounds. So he's a tiny little baby. Not a teacup. Good Lord, I don't want a teacup. We would lose it in all the art supplies and the hunting stuff. There. Newbies, see how I did that? Just kept on going. Now we need one somewhere else. Hey Scotty, how are you feeling? Hadn't talked to you in a while. All right, we got to do one. We've got to do another one, maybe two. Everything in threes. It's 4:30. Not that that matters. It may matter to y'all, but as long as I'm working, I'll just stay here. Miss seeing you, Scotty. I was talking about Shannon just a little while ago. It was nice. She and Jason have gone to Creativation, the old CHA. So funny to me, because when I was involved in going to those shows when I had my company back in the 80s, it was called Hobby Industry of America, and they did not like crafters. And look what happened to them. They're gone and the crafters took over. So now it's called CHA Craft Hobby Association. I think that's just funny. I was there with Needlecraft Design Books, and they despised soft crafts. That's another example of women taking their role back over. There's another one. Do I have another one? Yeah, here we're going to do... No, I'm not going to do another one. Oh, look, there's another one. That was one from the other day. I just got fun stuff all over the place. Are y'all laughing at me? Oh, okay, that means Poppy's home. See, you can tell I've been beating him all afternoon. That's what he'll tell Poppy. She hasn't sat with me one time. Poppy, I was so lonesome. She kicked me. Same, but different. Hey, Poopy. I'm still filming. Don't say anything rude.
Hi, guys.
Did I miss something? Okay, we're going to say that's enough of the blue thing. But see, I gave you an example of what you can do. What else? Supposed to keep layering. Oh, I know what. Some gouache. This was a grand idea I had and it didn't work. I could have let it dry better first. Wash is heavy body watercolor, which means that it's opaque, but it has all the other characteristics of watercolor. And you can dry it, re-wet it. Of course, I've got all that matte medium on here. Let's see what happens here. It's going to soak right in. All right, not the best. Oh, I did tell y'all that we think we found a schnauzer that needs to be rehomed. We'd rather have a puppy, but good Lord. I was thinking maybe we could do one for $3.50, you know, because we're not exactly rich, because I buy lots of art stuff. And Randy goes hunting, so, you know how it is. Hobbies. So, anyway, my God, $1,200, $1,500? I don't think that's a good idea. We're going to put this up. I have to clean that up. So I'm going to put it in a pallet. I need to let it dry first. Okay. What else? Somebody give me an idea. These are some Claudine Helma Studio, and they're in these cute little bottles, which can be refilled and reused. And she apparently was in with Tim Holtz before, I don't know, something happened. Apparently Ranger has a habit of doing that. I don't know. I've heard it from more than one people. Anyway, she was let go in favor of Dina Wakley. And now look at that. Isn't that just cute? So anyway, I found these on Etsy, and I wanted to try them because everybody that had them liked them. I think I'm going to do just a little bit more. Oh, I have a troll? Huh. Is it the one right above you, V. Rallis? I need to make one of you that are going to be here moderator so you can take care of some of that stuff. Foamy. Good writers. Stencils. Yay! These are a couple of little new ones. No, that's too busy. Let's do this little guy. This came from Mooney. Okay. If anybody wants to volunteer to be an admin for me, let me know. I'm going to do the YouTube stuff on Fridays just to play. And I'm going to do my live stream on Facebook on Wednesday afternoons. Okay, stamps, I guess. Let's see what this does. I can't get to it. No? Well, hey, what am I going to do? Got paint all over the back of it. That's what I did. I think red would be pretty, but that one is concave. I would never get it out. Let's try this color box. See if it's still got any juice. Juice. Yeah. Black probably would show better. Y'all, I am not sick, I swear to God. And I don't do cocaine. Nope, that didn't show. I think it's y'all. I'm allergic to you. Okay, thanks, Scotty. I guess I need it if I've got trolls. No, I hadn't been important enough for trolls to even care about. Okay, get in there. I don't know what this is. It may be black. Let's just do black. Scotty, I've got about, I don't know, 4 or 5 people on the list for the class. I don't know how many I'm going to limit it to. That worked. In fact, so let's do another one. How about backwards this time? Not the best in the West, but it'll work. I see a red. Fired brick distress. Understood. Money can get tight. Okay, there's a stamp. And I got white paint all over it. Dagnabbit. Oh well, I don't guess it'll hurt it. Pink isn't going to work. Let's do it again with I actually got a bad comment the other day from somebody that said, if your desk wasn't so messy, I could see what you were doing. So I just kind of snarked her back and said, gee, I'm so sorry, but that's the sign of a smart artist. And she said, well, it just really made me mad because I couldn't see what you were doing. I said, well, now that's totally different. Why didn't you say that in the first place? I put the black up just like a good girl. lid on this. I think I'm about done for today because I'm running out of ideas. Hey, Melody. Hit it with your glue gun. You mean those blue things that were not sticking good? This is Chinese red calligraphy ink. And it sure looks like orange to me. Well, the napkins just aren't any good with inks and stuff. They just soak it right up. No matter. Well, y'all got anything else you want to know? Yeah, my laundry bitch came in and did a load, but she's probably not going to come back tonight and finish them. Oh, Scotty, you asked earlier, what am I doing? I'm just working in one of those paint books, you know, a la Shannon. I had a page that wasn't done, and I could go back in here and do a bunch of stuff. I think what I can do is get out. I had them right here where I could get to them, and then knock them off. One of these days, Vern, one of these days. Ink pad with the lid. Oh, there it is, the lid. Okay. And get the pins out. Just find little pieces of art everywhere. This was done while I was watercoloring after being sick, and this is the Prima paper, and I'm pretty sure it's cellulose, but it still gives you some pretty good runs and bleeds and stuff. I'll put that right there. Okay, what do we got going on? Up and to my left. Yeah. It's this. I got some rubber moon stamps on clearance. So that's this one. See the woman and lots of little sayings like Picasso and words. You know, things that you can't do yourself, really. Silly as can be, dream journal, sprinkle moon dust, spread magic. I just think they're as cute as they can be. And I'm going to keep them by themselves over there. Let's do some doodling for a little while. Did y'all know a good source of doodling is the India henna patterns that they do on their hands? Those are nothing but doodles. Yeah, that napkin is just soaking it up. However, I could fix that with a coat of matte medium, but I'm not going to do that. Just move fast. These are the old paint books, Scotty. I started doodling after I saw Shannon Green's. Now, man, I doodled everything in sight for about a year at night with the TV. I'm kind of like her. I have about 4 main ones that I go to every time. I forget where I'm going. Doot, 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 doot. I'm not any good at Zentangling at all. If I have to remember 4 steps to do something, you might as well just count me out. Were you at Canvas Corp, Scotty, that day that those ladies left Shannon all those thousands of napkins? That's what all these are from. Isn't it fun when you get to meet somebody that you know online and you already know how much stuff you have in common? I think that's just too cool. You meet people out, like at the grocery store or something. I don't know where you meet people. And you find out after you put some time into it, you're just really not that into them. But I haven't met an online friend yet that couldn't relate to. Actually, this kind of messing around is good for me because I get bored so easy. Well, all right, I will. I will do that just for you, Miss Scotty. I don't know which way's up. Doesn't really matter. I think I did it right because I've got it upside down for y'all. For some reason, YouTube messed it up. Now watch when I finish filming and they'll flip it back right side and then it'll be upside down. Hey, Aristy. Glad you jumped in. I was just fixing to quit. Are y'all tired of me yet? Nope. Too much texture on the page. She didn't work, but we can do this. More than one way to skin a cat. I stamped these earlier just in case there were some people who hadn't done all this stuff with us for a couple years. The easy way to tear something. This is the back side of a napkin, the part that you tear off. Now, we learned earlier that the best thing to do is to use matte medium. I wonder where my, there it is, palette knife. Anyway, if you stamp on that real thin piece, or any tissue paper, or deli paper, then when you put it down, very carefully, because it's so thin, and if you tear those edges like that, they just disappear. Now put a piece of something else over it so you can rub it hard. What's this add moderator that just came up? Add moderator. I punched the button. Well, that wasn't so smart because it stuck to the paper. Dadgummit. Best laid plans of mice and men. It's like doing an image transfer. Don't do as I do. Piece of wax paper would have been a better choice, Miss Vicki. See, this is why it's so good for an OCD to do this. Yeah, or a piece of plastic. Now watch me mess it up even further. Works for me. I love the way it looks though when it dries because the matte medium is clear. Yeah. I have some rub-ons around here somewhere. Aristi, this is just a junk journal made out of paint books. This kind. And I may take 2 or 3 of them and just washi tape them together on the inside. I like the fold outs, and I didn't gesso or anything before I started gluing napkins in them. We tried some stamping. Let's try some more. I'm not the stamping queen. Yeah, and again, this thing has so much texture in it, it is not going to stamp well or stencil well. But this little guy might look pretty good. Oh, wait a minute. I've got some wings over here. doesn't have to make sense. Well, that's a relief off of my mind. I showed this earlier too. This is how you can get a raggedy edge on a piece of tissue paper, or in this case a napkin. Just wet it. And let's see. Yeah, I could do that. Pretend that she's an angel. Now I'm fixing to mess up. Okay, there we go. Let's see if we can do this better the second time. Nonsense. Very lightly. Maybe fingers are the best. See, I already put some down, didn't I? Now, once this all dries, that tissue will go away. The tissue look. I did it. I got them both coated without tearing them. Yay, me. Some little wings. Yeah, it would. Let me see what I've got here to do it with. Foam brush. Will that work? These are some Claudine helmet. Whoops, there goes a sardine can in the floor. And I don't know where my craft mat is, so we're just going to put a little bit of this down here. Up and downy. I love stenciling too. Got a pretty good selection of Stencil Girl. Yeah, that turned out good. Thank you, ma'am. I'm going to have some more paint. Yeah, that's what I think too. Of course, I love Japanese. My mother-in-law was Japanese. Gonna have to. Of course, if you're doing one-offs like this little bitty stuff, by the time you get it into your stamper, it soaks up a good bit of it. Did I want it? Voila! Cute! Look at this little page I just did. That's not bad. Not bad at all. Ooh, there's a page just crying for something. And I got just the thing. I got this little stencil from AliExpress too. It's about, I think it was $1. Took like 8 weeks to get it here, and it's a thinner Mylar than what we use. Red. Blue. Or the turquoise again. What y'all want? Okay, I think Scotty loves the turquoise. She said it the other. Let's just do the turquoise again, and we'll have some continuity. This will make a good drop sheet. I'm going for off center. I love to watch Mary Beth Shaw's videos. She is so cool with stemples, that too. Her stuff looks like fine art when she gets done with it. Mine looks like a kid's been playing. It's the way she puts them together and the colors that she uses. And I think this was a cake decorating stencil, if I remember right. These little bottles are so cool. They're such a good size if you're going somewhere to use, you know, to craft or journal. It's a lot easier than taking a bunch of big jars or 4011 bottles. But if anybody can come to Shannon's for one of her soirees, we've got a bunch of Art Deco paints for the group to use. These bigger stencils make my wings sore. I had stenciling stuff way back in the 80s, I think, when authentic stenciling, you know, like on walls and stuff. And they had the neatest oil-based paint. I had all that. Never used it. Thought it looked like fun. Here we go. Cool. I got kind of a messy right there. But I think that could be from the napkin soaking it up. Let's see if we can get a ghost. Napkins, Scotty. And the paint is just acrylic paint. Didn't get a thing. Well, alrighty, now you know. Yep, that's napkin. What else do we have? Stamps, stamps, stamps. I've got stencils, but they're across the room. And if I go over there, I might not get back. And my sprays are across the room. How about some Neo colors? friend of mine, actually she was one of my mentors, broke down her studio when she went into assisted living. And I was able to get a bunch of her stuff. Let's do that. My napkin's not glued down good. Now you know what's going to happen when I get this napkin wet, right? Well, we're going to do it anyway. Yeah, that was in the napkin too. And those aren't dissolving very good. Surely they're not too old. Art supplies never go bad, right? If somebody had glued their napkins down better. See, that's why I need prompt cards. And surprisingly, I have a lot of this stuff sitting right at arm's reach. See? Wet crayon. Let's do this again. Let me put this matte medium lid on. Put that in there. Can y'all see? Kind of getting out of the... Okay, I just put a bead of paint, and I'm just going to scrape it. Isn't that a neat effect? That's it. Isn't that a cool look? I better wash that one. Oh, those weren't meant to come off. Oh. Duh. Now I have to staple that back. That just pulled, that didn't separate good. Alright, that can be fixed later. Let's do... I just put my thing in there. Damn it. Guys, I think I'm done. This is a watercolor pencil. Again, we're not going to get much. Well, we did get some from that. Just something that was laying up here. I think my boys left. That looks like a kid color, don't it? Which... Oh, Scotty, you're a good crafter. I saw that. Okay, so what we did today... I finished one of the final pages on that. Oops. Got some stuff stuck on that. What did I do there? Oh, oops. I love the way I roll. Now she'll just stay right there. Stay. I think Mona Lisa doesn't want to be in this book. Leave her alone. Leave her alone. As my mother-in-law used to say. And we added some paint and stencils here. So, you know, I got a little bit done. Hey, Rosemary. What you doing, babe? Rosemary is a crafter with a capital C. You can find her on Facebook. And I've learned a lot from her, and there's a whole bunch more I'd like to learn. Appreciate y'all helping with ideas today. Because I look at stuff and I go, oh God, what do I want to do now? And you got to make decisions, and that's where Shannon's 15-minute thing comes in handy. Oh, I just look up and see things and go, what in the world? This was a wax encaustic. I'm not sure what I was doing, but it looks like a face. I just see these little things laying all over the place. If it's not a face, it could be. Look, there's the nose and the eyes. And the mouth even has perfect little white teeth. And the chin. Huh. Okay. I'm just wasting time. I'm wasting y'all's time, and I don't want to do that. Look at this pretty little piece of ribbon. That'll have to go in here the next time. Yeah, it's freezing here too. I think Randy said the temperature dropped yesterday, 45 degrees in 7 or 8 hours. So it is cold. And he brought me home a brand new pair of Woolrich little wool boots. I love them. I've got them on right now. Well, that is a strong staple, and I pulled it right on up out there. Okay, we're going to pull that out so somebody doesn't step on it. And we'll put another staple. Nothing like ripping the whole damn thing off. Get on there. Okay. Do you make your own encaustic medium? Yes, I do. Rosemary, sometimes if I'm feeling flush, I'll buy some because it's like $25 for a pound. And I get Swan's Candle is the best price I've found if I'm going to buy some. But, my goodness, you can buy a 2-pound block of filtered beeswax at Hobby Lobby with your coupon and your Damar resin, and it just takes a couple hours. I've got that laying around here too. Let me grab one of them. I put them in these little loaf pans, and I've got a brush and a stick for each color. This is my Doc Martens. No, it's not Doc Martens. Oh well, the wax. Anyway, I have a brush and a stick to stir with and the brush to apply it with. And all I have to do is just pop these. See, they're totally hard. I just pop these on my thrift store griddle, and they'll melt down in about 30 minutes. You're good to go. It's really an easy thing to do. It's encaustic is fun. That's going to be part of my new class too. Except I think I figured out a way that we can do it without you having to have any tools other than a hairdryer. So, do USRM sticks. Yeah, I have some, but they're so expensive. So I color these with oil. This one's colored with a dry pigment. You can use oil paint, and God knows I've got oil paint. Encaustic Artisti is, am I saying that right? Aristi. Encaustic is beeswax with a damar resin. It's like an 8-to-1 ratio. And when it cures, it is so hard and indestructible that they found Egyptian mummies that had been thrown out into the sands. Their faces had been painted with encaustic, and they lasted, what, 300 years or so? The Vikings used to use it to decorate their boats and make them scary, and it also kept them watertight. So it's just been since the 1930s that artists started playing with it. Rosemary oil pastels. I've used Shiva sticks before, but those are more of an oil stick. Nobody knows for sure what's in an oil pastel. But you could try it. Yeah, I guess 3,000 years or so. I'm not real good in history. But the Shiva sticks will melt. But if I'm using my aluminum, I can't find it. It's right here somewhere. I have an aluminum sheet I can lay on the griddle and do monoprinting with it. If the Shiva sticks seem to stain it, so. But oil paint works great if you squeeze it out onto a paper towel and get the excess oil out of it. But I love encaustic. I think I can grab one handy. Hold on. Yeah. I'll get no free lesson here. Okay. Let's see where. Let me don't mess up. What's her name? Twice. Did I already? Yeah. Let's go for 3. All right. This is encaustic. These are done on little bitty black canvas from oops, my house isn't clean. It's done from those little bitty black canvases. Now, you have to put it on a rigid surface because then if it's like regular canvas, it'll get this where you can see it better. Is that better? Better? Let me go down a little bit. Let me get my nose. All right. I think the baby white is just about dry enough. Is it? There. You can take this when it gets a dull look to it. It's kind of a bloom from the wax. But you take a dry cloth and buff it. And it pops it back up to a sheen. And you don't have to use colored wax. You can just use the medium. And I've got some of those miniature beads, from Mixed Media. And this is just a little jewel bead. And looks like I've got some plastic grit in there. Oh, and this, oh, I tell you, that was plastic canvas. What you do is when the wax is just, well, it dries almost immediately, but when it starts to get dry but it's not cured, you can lay something with a texture in it and it'll leave the texture in the wax, and then when the wax dries, gets harder, and that's just a matter of minutes. That's not a full cure, but anyway, you can come back and you can put either, again, some colored wax, or you can use, that's where your oil pastel might work, Rosemary. But you come back with your red oil, like this, and fill the hole. And then you come back before you fuse it, and you scrape the extra off so that you just leave it in the hole. And the fusing means that every time you put a layer of wax on, you have to melt it with a heat tool or a creme brulee torch. And it melts it into the layer underneath it and gives it stability. Otherwise, your layers will peel off. Okie dokie, guys. I'm tired. I'll see you next Friday here on YouTube, and I will see you next Wednesday on Facebook. Yeah, stamping into the wax works great. Stencils are great. It's almost like the original mixed media. You can do image transfers on it. You can bury cogs and stuff in it like this. It is just a lot of fun. And I like to let it drip off the sides. Anyway, that's it. Anybody got any more questions? Okay. Bye. Love you guys.